Hello, welcome to the Vandal Factory podcast. I'm Henry Raby and this is a Factory Floor Cuts episode. They're kind of like mini episodes focusing on one person or a specific event, and in this case it's the Palestine Unveiled art exhibition which took place at Coles Gallery in the Leeds Corn Exchange on the 27th of April 2024. It was organised by the wonderful artist IJR, and the event raised money for medical aid for Palestinians and platformed artists standing in solidarity with the people of Palestine. Natalie went along with her microphone in hand and chatted to some of these special artists and some friends of the show. So before we crack on and hear what Natalie discovered at Palestine Unveiled, please take a moment to subscribe to the Vandal Factory podcast. Why not leave us a 5-star review? Give us a follow on the old social media and please tell your friends. It all really does help us. We've got loads of episodes talking to Palestinian artists, so come and be part of the VF gang. Okay, without further ado, here we go.
Hi, my name is Salma Kuhail. I'm from Gaza. I came lately, about 3 months ago. Yeah, I witnessed 100 days of genocide. And then I've been displaced so many times. Unfortunately, I left my husband behind because he couldn't get a visa and he doesn't have a passport as well. We lost it because we lost our apartment. So when I came here, I felt like painting is my therapy because I tried therapy and it didn't work out with me. So painting really helped me, and joining this art exhibition really inspired me. One of the painting, which is the kite one, that was inspired from a video call with my husband. He's in Rafah at the moment, so one day I video called him and I saw kite all over in the sky, and the sky was blue, and there was so many kites and so many kids. You can see hope and joy. So I thought that I'll paint that scene, and hopeful colors and
bright. So I'm looking at it now. You've got a large canvas with a sky blue and wispy clouds, and then 3 bold Palestinian kites.
Yes.
In that classic kind of the hexagon shape.
Yeah, and some birds as well.
It is a hopeful piece.
I know. I've also done this round canvas, and it's just a symbol of Palestine. One of them is Skufia and the other one is watermelon. So I want it to be as simple as it can be, so it's straightforward, and just once you see it, it's about Palestine.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's striking. It's crisp and round.
Yeah.
Which is actually, having a round canvas,
it's a bit odd. Yeah.
It makes it stand out.
I know. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Tallullah Howarth and I'm a poet. So I'm in the Palestine Unveiled exhibition at the Coles Gallery, and the piece that I'm looking at is a replica of a building that's been blown apart. It's got miniature furniture in. It seems like a centerpiece of the exhibition, and it's just so detailed that it's really moving to look at, and makes you connect to each life that is involved in this horrific genocide and everyone that's being affected, and the intricacies of their rich lives that are being subordinated right now. So it's a very affecting piece, and I'm just really glad that this exhibition is happening.
Sweet. So we actually have the artist of this incredible sculpture. Would you call it a sculpture?
It's a sculpture of a dollhouse. The dollhouse is to symbolize the innocence of the people who actually get attacked and are portrayed as terrorists by the media because of the propaganda and everything, all the lies. So I created this artwork, this art piece. So a dollhouse to symbolize, to like show that these people did have well-established lives before they completely got destroyed. And what do they even take with them? Like, it's all gone. And I've put all these memories and like little things in there that show that the lives that they lived before. And yeah, this art piece is called So Remember Me, I'll Remember You, because in all the pictures that I've seen, like, they put verses from the Quran on the walls to like give hope to people, and that's what the resistance is. Like, they're so resilient, and their faith is like so powerful, and that's what we should look up to. And so this artwork is called So Remember Me, I'll Remember You. I'm Mahgull Khan, and I'm actually an art student from Manchester. I'm still in college right now doing the foundation year. And I'm 19 years old. And
this is ridiculous. I will definitely take a photo and put a photo up of this piece. It is so moving, and you're absolutely right. It's the intricacies of the domestic things that we all use day to day, and what's left behind, that tells so much of a story of the people who have lived there. And it really makes you think of my home and the things I see every day, and the table I sit at, and the family meals I've had, and what that would be like to have it completely crumbled, to leave that all behind. It is extraordinary, and to hear that you're still in college and you're 19 years old is mind-boggling. Congratulations, you are seriously talented.
my favorite room is like that girl's room as well, because it reminds me of my room so much.
Let's go have a look at it and tell me more about it. Describe it to our listeners.
So I'm basically like a very girly girl, so that room reminds me of my room a lot, because like I wanted to like show it as a girl's room, that she used to get ready there, and it was her personal space, it was her safe space. And homes are supposed to be a safe space until like they're destroyed, and like what are you even supposed to do then? Like that could easily be us as well. Like what makes you think that you can't be put in that same position? Like most people don't actually most people are like desensitized to this and don't actually pay attention to it, because they think it can't happen to them, or like it's just another war in the Middle East. So that could easily be you as well. Like what makes you think you can't be next? Like, and if you actually listen to the media and believe the lies they're telling you, like you should actually go do your own research and like find out how everything's happening and how things work as well, and not believe the lies media's telling you. So I made this piece to like get people thinking. And
is there anywhere else where our listeners can see this?
It's actually been exhibited in many places like UAL and Bury Art Museum. I'm from Manchester, so it's basically over there. I do want to exhibit it in more places.
Okay, well that's an open invitation to anyone who's going to be doing some more Palestinian art exhibitions. You've got, honestly, an absolute centrepiece here for you. So how can they get in contact with you?
My Instagram is margulls.art. So if you want to contact me through that.
Fantastic, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Fatima, and I am an artist. Actually, I was not always an artist. I did art when I was in high school. Stopped doing it for a long time. But Palestine made me into an artist again. My story is that my friend, she lost 9 of her family members in Gaza in October. And one of them was an artist. So her name is Uraib Al-Rayes. I want everybody to follow her. Uraib Al-Rayes, when I went on her profile, she did a lot of portraits. And that kind of spoke to me. I said, this artist, all of her artwork is under a rubble. She's no more to share or express her love for art, so I need to paint something. And I just painted one of her works for myself. posted on Instagram, somehow got 45K views, and then people are like, we want to order one. And I'm like, actually, I'm not doing this as a business thing. They're like, please, like, we want to order something for Palestine so we can wear it too. I said, fine. Then my rule is 100% of my profit goes to Palestine. I'm not keeping a penny because I want my intentions to always stay right. I don't want the profit and the money to make me use a genocide and people's trauma and suffering to make any profit out of it. So every hoodie I paint, 100% profit is for them. Next thing, I got in touch with Rahaf, who is, as I said, One Direction of Gaza. They're called Soul Band. And Rahaf then told me to paint her portrait, which I did, and she loved it. And since then, like, Rahaf and I would call her my sister because, bless her, she would tell me everything she's feeling every time she's struggling. And little did I know that I wanted to send my profit to Gaza, but I didn't want to give it to any of the aid because I didn't know if the aid would get in. I didn't know if the aid would be sold. So somehow, like, as I said, this like divine intervention, every single time I would do my art, I would be like, how did I create this? And I'd be like, is Oraib like helping me paint this? Is like God and his angels helping me do this? Because I don't know. And every time I did my art, I had to listen to Palestinian music. I had to get into the zone of doing it. But I had all this money collected. And I'm like, what am I doing with it? I found a way to send money to Rahaf. So I would send it to Rahaf. And bless her, she like, during the month of Ramadan, she did like 2 iftars. We fed about 600 people. They did an Eid party. And this Eid party, let me tell you, it has like puppet show, it has like kids dancing around and all of these amazing things. And that actually made my heart melt. I was like, they're not keeping a penny for themselves, because when I say like I only raised 15 USD to feed one person and I was able to raise almost 10K. They didn't feed crackers or dry food. They fed 2 sheep. They fed 100 pieces of whole chicken. They went out of their way. I'm like, these guys have so much in them. They're so generous that clearly they didn't even keep a penny in their pockets. I was happy for it to be like canned food and like give it to people. But actually, they were the ones who were like, you know what, Fatima, we were able to find 2 sheep. I'm like, you were able to find like alive sheep, like real sheep? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, what? How did that happen? And I could hear like the tears and the joy in her voice where when she bought chicken, she was like, Fatima, we didn't have meat for 6 months now. And this is the first time we're able to afford it. And we will be like feeding it to people. And I was like, I don't even know like what to say, because all these resources are still available in Gaza, but everything is so overpriced. And what people need more than like charities is actually like your help. As I speak about, like, it's not only the people in Gaza who are suffering, it's also the people who have evacuated, because like Soul Band has evacuated 3 days ago, but next thing I heard like crying voice notes and stuff because they feel like they've abandoned their family. They feel like they have abandoned their country. So it's not an escape of like, oh, I've left Gaza, I'm fine now. No, they're not fine. And as a community, we need to look after everyone in whatever way we can. Let it be protest, let it be art, let it be anything. But we cannot stop till it stops. And it's just so unfair. Like, I don't know how people just keep on swiping through people's stories and seeing kids being murdered. And, you know, recently a doctor spoke about how mothers are actually leaving their kids in the hospital and taking away their lives because they don't know what to do. And this is why my artwork is about a mother holding her baby. And the quote says, birthed in the darkness of a genocide, cradled in the arms of a hero. Mothers, especially of Palestine, are heroes. The backdrop is watermelon. Watermelon, which obviously was used when the flags were banned in Palestine to use. I have an olive branch because olive tree comes from Palestine historically. The mother is wearing a keffiyeh, and I gave her some gold coins just because she is the queen, she is a hero, and she is like the divine power who is trying to sacrifice everything that she needs for her family, for her baby, for everybody. Her henna on her hand says Palestine in Arabic, Philistine. Her outfit has a print of the key, which is also like significant to the Palestinian cause. There's Al-Quds in the backdrop, which gets attacked every few months, but somehow is so resistant that it's still standing, which is shocking. The mother is holding her baby just because, yeah.
My name's Josh Sutton, and I'm here at the Palestine Unveiled exhibition and talking with Natalie about a piece that I've submitted, which I call Balfour Declaration, because describing it, it's a 45 by 45 centimetre piece of plywood, 18 millimetres thick, and at the back of it is the Palestinian flag, but it's overlaid with a drawing of a 1920s Royal 10 typewriter that I made some time ago, and the text, the printed or typed text of the Balfour Declaration. At the top, in Arabic, it is the first line from a Mahmoud Darwish poem, which is called Identity Card, and it reads, I've only got 4 or 5 letters on it, 5 words, Sajil ana Arabi wa rakam bitaqati. And that actually means, listen, I'm an Arab, and the number of my identity card. And the poem goes on, it's a powerful poem, I think he wrote it in the late 60s, and it's Sajil ana Arabi wa rakam bitaqati 50,000 wa adfali 8 wa ta'si'ahum sayati ba'da sayf. And it's a conversation between a Palestinian and some kind of official. He may be an Israeli policeman or an Israeli soldier or something like that. And the words are, listen, I'm an Arab, and the number on my identity card is 50,000. I have 8 children, and the 9th is coming after the summer. Are you worried? It's a really powerful poem for me, the way I interpret it. It's got an underlying threat of the idea that the Palestinians are not going to go away. I've got 8 children, the 9th is coming after the summer. The number on my identity card is 50,000. It's a poem that talks of perpetuality. It's a really powerful poem. So I decided to put the piece together. I went to university as a mature student, studied Arabic, largely because I suddenly realised, after having spent a couple of years travelling around, bumming about doing nothing, I had a really good time in Egypt, and I thought, well, if I do a degree in Arabic, then I can probably go and live in the Middle East somewhere. So I ended up living in Damascus. I went to university at Durham, and it was a 4-year course. I chose Durham because you go abroad in your second year as opposed to your third year. And most of the universities just send you to Egypt, but I'd been to Egypt, and I fancied going to Syria and Damascus, which is where I went. I lived in Damascus for a year. That was in 1995. Wow. So, yeah. So I mean,
got a long-standing relationship with Palestine then?
Yeah, with the Middle East generally. Part of my course was the language and the history and politics and political economy, and I find the whole way that after the First World War, with the demise of the Ottoman Empire, it was just carved up between Western powers. France taking Lebanon, and the UK ended up with England ended up with Palestine. It's just a fascinating part of the world, and the people that I've met there are incredibly generous, incredibly friendly. Yeah, I have an affinity. And then more recently, I went out to Palestine, the West Bank, with an organisation called Skate Pal. So I took up skateboarding in my 50s, and I contacted the guy, Charlie, his name is. I contacted Charlie. I said, "Listen, I've been skateboarding for a year, but I speak Arabic. Can I come and play?" And he went, "Yeah, man, of course you can." So I spent I think I spent about a month or a couple of weeks, a month, out in the West Bank teaching Palestinian kids to skate. Well, I wasn't really teaching them anything. I was just being there and playing. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Brilliant. And finally, I met you originally through being part of the Commoners Choir.
Yeah.
Commoners have recently written a little. I was going to say jingle then. That's not
right. Yeah, you could call it a jingle. Yeah. What Commoners has been going, it's our 10th anniversary next year. I can't believe it.
Wow. And do you know about, can you talk about the quilt that's been made for Palestine recently by the Commoners?
Yeah, well, Helen Lucy and Kath Long were instrumental in putting that together, and Helen brought it along. So we had the merch store set up last night, and you basically come up the stairs, and Helen Lucy had put it up. So it's the first thing you looked at, which was kind of really good because straight away audiences coming in, some people just to see the orchestra, some people see us, some people see both of us, and there's a political message,
And what is that political message? Can you remember the words on it?
I can't remember the words, to be honest with you.
Ceasefire now.
Oh, right, okay.
War.
Oh, yeah.
Today and tomorrow and forevermore.
That one, yeah. Well, you can't expect me to sing it. Yeah. I was thinking, but they're written in Arabic as well, aren't they? Yeah, I should. That maybe that's beyond my vocabulary. No, it was great. It was really good. So I'm delighted to be here, and I'm rather pleased because when I did this, I kind of put it on my social media. I put a picture up and said, "This is going into an exhibition in support of Palestine, and I'll take bids on it." And straight away, one of my pals went, "Yep, I'll bid you for that." So it's got a reserve price already. So it's sold, and the money's going to go to Palestine. Medical aid, MAP, I think it is, Medical Aid for Palestinians. Yeah, brilliant.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Cheers. Pleasure talking to you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
My name's Fozia, and I'd just like to share how it's made me feel walking into this art exhibition today, which is based on Palestine and Gaza. But by looking at a lot of the art pieces, it's literally taken me back to all the footage I've been witnessing throughout the terrifying, horrific 6 months of war. And I think it's quite deep to understand what the artist is actually going through and resonate with that. And it actually puts you in that realm of where this shouldn't exist. This should not exist for people to feel this law that they have to portray themselves through these means. But it's fantastic that these means are available and they can portray themselves. So it's a bittersweet type of situation we're in. But every single art piece I've seen is fantastic. Absolutely love absolutely every little piece here.
It's worth noting that as soon as people walk in, we've all started talking quite softly, and that's not a sort of, it's an art gallery, you must be quiet. There is a respectful, I think people are in contemplation, even though it's a small room and there's people are chatting, a lot of people who know each other, of course, and seeing old friends, and everyone always welcomes the opportunity to have a chat, don't we? And rather than just chanting all the time at each other. But there's this quiet contemplation that's coming on, and I've seen lots of people welling up or just being still, and then this quiet contemplation of what we're seeing on the walls, and it's different pieces are touching different people in different ways. The room is full of different textures. There's ink, there's canvas, there's prints, there's stuff on boards, there's text, and it doesn't feel crammed, it doesn't feel overwhelming, but there is just so much here to process. I think you need to give it some time. Each piece needs a bit of time to to contemplate what the artist has been thinking as they've been creating it.
I mean, I've noticed this myself. As soon as I walked in, it just took me straight back to all the news or all the protests I've been attending, and it's all coming back to me.
And also how this genocide is affecting people in so many different ways. There's so many layers to it that goes beyond, yes, people are dying, there is violence, people are losing limbs, people are don't have enough food. But then this makes you think about everything else. People's dreams, their hopes, their professions, the fabric of their homes, the family members, all the stuff in life that really matters beyond your immediate survival stuff. The thing that makes life worth living, the fabric of life, that's what all this artwork is bringing home to me.
I totally agree. I feel before the 7th of October, we knew what was happening in Palestine. We've known for many years. But as soon as the 7th of October's happened and everything is all over the place, you know, everybody should be aware of what's happening. But we're all going through some type of grief. We're all suffering right now, and looking at all this art in this room, this is exactly what I am witnessing right now. You know, I do want to just stand here and just want to just take every little detail in and try and understand why the artist has actually gone to the lengths to do each piece. But I'm just speechless. I'm speechless.